Hello and welcome. My name is Andreas Seitz and I want to take you on a journey. A journey about smartphones, lemonade, Coke and bottle filling lines. And I will explain to you how these things are related to industrial edge. It's been almost 15 years since we experienced the iPhone revolution in our private life. You had to carry many different devices with different purposes. A Walkman or an MP3 player to listen to your favorite songs. A camera to capture the beautiful moments in your life. Or a notebook or a calendar where you have to manage your thoughts and appointments. Or think about these navigation devices which we had in our cars. They helped us to find the way from A to B. Now, remember them. What comes to your mind? A variety of different cables and chargers. They were not interconnected, these helpers. So my navigation device, for example, knew nothing about my appointments. Or the MP3 player did not stop when I got a phone call. And think about updates. Updates were either not possible or very, very cumbersome. Meanwhile, we are used to have exactly just one device. One device for these things, and this is our smartphone. But what makes the smartphone so special? In my opinion, it's not the technology, or just to a limited extent. Good old cell phones already had a screen, a speaker, a camera, or GPS positioning capabilities. The revolution that has changed our everyday life comes from the apps. With these apps, we can continuously expand the functionality of just one device. Technically, it's completely abstracted. It doesn't matter how the photo app accesses the camera, it just works and it's child play. The installation, the purchase and the payment are highly automated and therefore understandable for everyone, really for everyone. The principles of apps has significantly changed and shaped our lives and our relationship towards technology. Enough talking about the smartphone revolution. Let's bring the example of the smartphone in the context of a factory. In a factory, we have a variety of devices that perform a variety of different tasks. We have controllers that control, we have panels for monitoring and operations, we have robots that fill or move production goods. As of today, these devices cannot be reduced to a single device, but they all have one thing in common. They all have a certain raison d'être, helping to perform certain tasks in production. The idea is obvious, to package the functionalities in the form of an app. So how would it be if we can find, select, install and use these apps just like on our smartphone? Sounds like science fiction? It's not. Let's take a look at the whole thing using the example of a bottle filling plant. Today, the bottle filling line of our example fills lemonade into these green bottles. After the successful filling, the system checks whether the quantity, and it's correctly filled, is correct and continues to the packaging process. However, the producer is now faced with a challenge that he'd like to fill other beverages within his already existing line. Up to now, the system has not been able to distinguish whether the bottle is red or green. This is essential for the process, since, first of all, we have to make sure that the content, so whether it's lemonade or Coke for example, must be adjusted accordingly. And secondly, the bottles must be sorted by type and packed into the appropriate containers in the next step. Let me explain to you how industrial edge can be used to add the desired functionality to the bottle filling line. First, if not already done, the customer must equip the machine with an industrial edge device. The device serves as the runtime environment for the apps that will expand the machine's functionality in the future. Customers can manage and install these apps on the devices via the so-called industrial edge management system. The customer installs the corresponding app for the detection of the red bottles. In order to work correctly, a camera is required and you have to plug the camera to the machine so that we can distinguish between the green and the red bottles. The camera will be connected to the edge device. During the operation of the machine recognizes whether it's red or green, fills it accordingly, and refers it to the correct next work stop where it's packaged. Many of our customers, and also the beverage producer from our example, operates globally. The manufacturer does not only produce in one country of the world, and not only Coke or lemonade, but many more beverages that are shipped in different containers all over the world. In the old world, you would now put the software on a USB stick, send it around the world, and an employee, you have to manually upload the software to the devices. You have to walk there. With Industrial Edge, that's history. We make it possible to install these apps from a central location on the globally distributed edge devices all around the world into your factories. We provide the solution the customer needs for the successful global scaling. 1, 2, 3, let's go have a look on the live system.
We're now in the Industrial Edge Management System, the central place to manage all your devices and applications. In the device overview, we can see all the devices within our factories in Germany, India, and the USA. From here, we can easily trigger a shutdown, a reboot, or firmware updates for our devices, and we can prevent the need of manually doing this on the plant itself. For updating one or multiple devices, we choose the outdated device and trigger the installation of the latest version with just one click. Within the catalog section, we have an overview of all our applications that can be installed on your devices. Just as with our smartphones, we can directly start the installation by clicking on a dedicated app. We choose the device where we want to install it, and then we deploy it. I will now demonstrate the deployment of the camera recognition app to detect the color of the bottles in the factory. When we head back to the device overview, we can directly jump to the edge device, which is located next to your machine. When we start the application, we can immediately see the live stream of the camera in your bottling machine and start detecting red or green bottles. You can see the camera changes from green to red. Let's go back to the device. If you want to monitor all the data of the bottling line, we can simply use the Line Performance app. This app shows us the status of our machine. We see the tank level and the tank temperature of the bottle filling line, as well as the amount of detected bottles in green or red. The app is receiving the information from the camera application. Let's come to a conclusion. We can easily manage and install apps and device versions from a central place, the so-called Industrial Edge Management System. This supports you to adjust your machine to the challenges you are facing and helps to create more value out of your machine.
Now you've seen Industrial Edge live. Isn't it great? But the question is, what's in for the customer and what's in for Siemens? First, our customers and the operators of the beverage filling line are super happy and satisfied. Second, our customers are more flexible in their production and the bottles are sorted correctly into green and red bottles. The throughput to our customers increases, the margin increases, and hopefully also the turnover as a result. So what's the takeaway of today? Industrial Edge makes it easy to add or change functionality, and it's super flexible with a very low entry barrier. Do you still have doubts? Probably yes. So do our customers. They ask themselves, but what if I do not know how to program an app? Or how do I set up such a system in my factory? Or which device do I have to take? Which one is the right one? We have the answers, and there's someone in the Industrial Edge ecosystem who has the answers to your questions. You are invited to join us into the Industrial Edge ecosystem, and we are happy to welcome you there. Thank you very much.